Welcome to our podcast, Face It, the reasons why you should fib. If you're listening to this podcast, you're seeking information about how to age gracefully and how to age naturally. My name's Ryann Lavinia, and I'm the owner of Face It Botox Bar. I have a true passion for the medical aesthetics industry, and I'm a national allergen trainer and also a national Sciton luminary. Each week, we're going to talk about topics that will help you make decisions and motivate you and inspire you to be the best version of yourself. And we're also going to have a lot of fun along the way. These services will help you obtain results where everybody will notice, but nobody will know. Hi, everyone. It's Ryann and Jen back with FIBBcast podcast. So we are excited today to have Jen Hoke with us from ALASTIN, and we're going to talk all the science and kind of girlfriend talk about skincare.
So
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she just drove down from Tampa, so we really appreciate you doing that.
It's worth it. This is a great place to be. No complaints. It was a beautiful view and a beautiful drive. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, we appreciate you. We enjoy ALASTIN a lot. So
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, if you don't, you should.
Right? So I feel after this.
That's right.
Yeah, all of our patients know how much we love ALASTIN. I talk about it with everybody. We give, full comprehensive treatment plans, and as long, with their laser as well. But I had, met Evan and just saw the ALASTIN. I've had you guys since 2019, actually 2018, and it was just the 10-year anniversary. Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of history of ALASTIN too.
Sure. So this is our 10-year anniversary, we're calling it, because it's 10 years of innovation, which sounds very
I love that.
marketing spin, but it's a fun way to look at, where ALASTIN started, where we're going, and some of the things that I hope to share with you, and especially something that's new, of just staying on the forefront of what's happening within the industry. And I know that that's something you all take such pride in. But a little bit about me. This actually is not my first career. I did life a little bit backwards. Went to college, graduated, did sales, and the money was good, but I didn't love the industry. So saved my money and quit my job at the age of 25, went to what I call beauty school. And was a little nervous to call my dad and say, hey,
guess what?
So I'm going to quit my job. And I know you just paid for college and I know you just paid for Catholic school, but I'm going to pay for this one on my own.
Right.
And I share that because while I was nervous to say that to him, I haven't looked back. I was 25 when I did that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I've been in the industry for 24 years.
That's great.
So it's a fun space to be. It's always changing.
You've seen a lot of changes.
You've seen a lot of so I mean, especially I'm sure you all have as well. And how do we stay on the forefront of not only what the industry is saying, and not so much the trends, but how you can give your patients those true results of what they're looking for, and how do we do it safe? How do we do it, with an efficacious product, and what does that look like?
And we are very results driven. We have everybody trying to sell us all these devices and stuff, but from day one, Sciton, I knew they were results driven. I knew I could BBL somebody in 30 minutes, and 2 weeks later, you're going to see results. And same thing with the skincare.
Absolutely, I think they go hand in hand. And to me, it's thinking about if I'm about to do a procedure, whether it's a laser or even if it's an injectable. Truthfully, on the drive down, I have friends text me, I'm about to go get my lips injected. What should I do? Enhance. I'm about to do this laser. What products? What should I be using? And how do we get patients back on into their lifestyle quicker, but still delivering those results? I think is key.
Well, and there's a variety of what you guys offer for ALASTIN for anybody, what you're looking to help and continue. And it's again, and Ryann preaches a lot of, you're investing in your skin, you got to invest in your skincare as well.
We've seen a difference from, first time I got a BBL, the first time I haloed. I think the first ALASTIN product I had tried was Nectar.
And there's nothing like Nectar. There's nothing else like Nectar. I don't care what anyone says.
Just it feels so good,
The feel
texture,
is beautiful, and it feels so, it helps to heal the skin post-procedure.
Well, and a lot of people want those things, right? Because they're going to be swollen, they're going to be red, they're going to have they want to get back to doing things. What's going to help best? What's going to heal them?
Well, I think that's, our providers, our medical estheticians, I'm sure you struggled with this, but industry-wide, physicians, like giving a value to patients. This product is $200. What is it going to do for me? Exactly. So, having them see the value, and you don't always, because it's on a cellular level. And that's where you guys, the innovation comes in, but you see it over time.
Absolutely. And we see that, with all of the science, whether it's with Dr. Alan Woodrow, what he's doing now, and and advancing how we're clearing out the extracellular matrix, and a new innovation that kind of is our 10-year birthday gift to the industry, which will kind of tee up a little bit later. I got my eyes on it, of how we're advancing our TriHex technology to really meet the market where it's at and address some of the needs and the wants of what the patients are asking for.
So how's ALASTIN different from other lines, like proprietary things? Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. So yes, we're going on 10 years. I think the key differentiator is Dr. Alan Woodrow. It's what he started with when he started ALASTIN. But if you look at his background, he actually is from South Africa. He had wound clinics in South Africa. And when we think about the lasers that you're doing, that is essentially a wound. So how do we then, use product, and how Dr. Alan Woodrow, what he did when he came to the US, he continued his research and realized there's a space between this wound healing, but then also with skincare. And how do you bring that together? And that makes sense why Nectar, was one of the first products and still maintains to be this number one selling SKU for us 10 years later.
So that was the first. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Which makes it special. And then thinking about what we're still doing and how the formulation, we're starting with gene expression. And then from there, we're going to punch biopsies. And then finally to that clinical data that is being released. And I have studies that are coming out now looking at TriHex with things I can't say yet. I almost slipped. Almost came out.
Edit that. Stay on track.
That's one of the conversations we have with patients. We get them on the Nectar, especially with halos pre and post. Mm-hmm. And because it is, I tell them it's cleaning out all of the trash out of your skin, like the elastin and collagen, and it's helping repair and protecting your investment, things like that. And actually looking at histology, we show them the clinical sides, with the purple and the stratum corneum, and how you can show patients that, which I love, because we're very evidence-based medicine as well in the practice, and patients eat it up, all these big words.
Well, and you don't want to spend your money, you go and have the treatments done, and then you're like out at the store, like, let me grab this, and this, and you grab all those things, it's going to add up, to what you would get, and our providers are great. You guys are great with sending people in when new technology, new things come out, or just staying on top of every couple of weeks coming in for lunch and learn. So the providers have a wealth of knowledge of all the ALASTIN products that you guys offer. The reps have been wonderful as well with all of that. So, but, taking care of that part of it, it's a continued journey.
Mm-hmm. And that is one, thing I always say about ALASTIN. You guys have always been supportive, from the beginning of when I was in a salon suite, one room going to 6 rooms within 7 months, but I've always, Annie was our first rep, and, and so hi, Annie, if you're out there, I'm sure you'll listen to this, but just supportive and always, calling me, how you doing with this? And there's this new update. We have a new product, and now look, I think there was 2 products when I first started using. So you guys as a company have helped, me grow my practice as well. And then the clinical educational side is huge for, like Jen said. So,
and I would imagine as an owner, and it gives you peace of mind of knowing that you can't be in every treatment room, and you can't be with the patients at home. The treatment is just a small aspect of it, but the prepping and then what is happening post-care is so important, because that's where the maintenance happens. And if a patient has a easier, I'll call it social downtime instead of an actual downtime. Like, time is money. And when you tell someone, oh, you might have 5 days of downtime, that's a lot.
Sure.
But if you can say, hey, your social downtime could look like this, and by showing those pictures of before and afters of what they could expect, it just helps soften that process and allow someone to invest in hopefully a series of certain lasers and to do that next one.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you guys have even gone the extra mile of giving us as providers script pads, essentially, from all the products. So now we have the ability to do that, because then patients leave and they take it home and they know what to do.
It just makes it easy. The AM, PM, what to do post, pre, it's pretty self-explanatory.
And I think that's something that stands out about ALASTIN itself is skincare does not have to be that complex. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of the things that we talk about, and we can really get into the science and talk some words that maybe some of the people listening aren't going to understand, but we can make it simple, and we can give a simple routine or a regimen to help them get to their needs, with and without procedure.
Yes.
It does not have to be that complex.
For sure. So I'll talk about some of my favorites. My regimen, I use the eye cream, AM, PM, the illuminating serum, which I love. And because we are so That's HydroTint. It's over there. Yeah, but because we are so laser heavy, we have a lot of melasma patients, hyperpigmentation. I suffered from melasma as well. So tranexamic acid and some other, good things that are in that product. The retinol is absolutely the best. And then hyaluronic acid, that's new formulation. So let's talk about the science behind kind of each of those if we can. Like the eye cream. So patients are like, I need an eye cream. Does the eye cream really work?
Absolutely. And what's special about the eye cream with Alastin is there is TriHex in that. So as you said earlier, TriHex, you'll see it in a few of our products. It's also in our body product. It's in Nectar. What TriHex is doing is actually going into the extracellular matrix and clearing out that damaged collagen and elastin. And that happens in 18 days. So you can have a patient pre-treat for 18 days. And then they can also use it post-procedure. But while it's clearing out the damage, it's creating that new healthy collagen and elastin. It's also helping with your fibroblasts. And this new innovation that we have is we're adding another peptide to that formula to really give an advancement to add a hydration component. So what you love about HAMR serum, you're going to love that much more about the new Restorative Skin Complex with next generation TriHex Plus technology.
I love it.
But back to the eye cream, something that, there's TriHex in that. What's great about it is one pump is all that's needed to do the lower and upper lid, AM and PM. I know some people, if they do suffer with any like bags under their eyes, those optical diffusers in there really help with that bounce back and that visual component. But something that I think here, like in Florida, and we think about the weather and our lifestyle, never to worry about it migrating or getting into the eye, where some other products may. But to me,
that's a good point.
It's a must-have, and if someone is, loves restorative and they're kind of looking for that next what else, I think either restorative eye and then restorative neck are really good add-ons to that.
Yeah, for sure. We love the neck cream.
The neck is so good.
Pairing it with our skin tightening procedures and like soft wave, but skin tight as well, Exion, skin tight.
Right.
So we do offer that and we bundle these things for patients too.
That's smart. And I love the bundling component of it. Again, you're kind of controlling what they have at home to build off of what you were saying. They're not going into a place on the corner like a CVS, Walgreens, or some other type of retailer and being sold something that's not best for the treatment that was just performed here.
Right.
And I think it makes it more digestible for the patient too. And then you also have that buy-in of, skincare is kind of the basis of everything. And if we're on the right routine, everything else that you do within these four walls.
Well, I think it can make some of the treatments that you have done last longer.
Yes.
And you guys have done a great thing as far as your packaging with, it's like you said, with the eye cream, it's like one pump, because you can get crazy, right?
Yes.
And if you are spending a little bit of more money, I found out once I started using the medical grade, it lasted longer because I wasn't, squirting it all in my hand and, whatever. And you guys have made it and created this technique of how things are packaged, that it's like one pump here or two pumps and that's it. That's all you need. And it is lasting longer. So, those kind of things are helpful.
And, the medical grade versus, going to CVS, I forget the exact statistics, but our providers are really good at recommending skincare for patients because once they leave, it's like 78% of them or 80% will go buy a product after they leave a med spa.
I think the number, and this was a study that came last year, it's like 89% of people are more likely to buy a product after having a treatment done. And if it's not being talked about in here or it's not being bundled in,
right,
they're probably going to go somewhere. They're going to hop on Instagram or TikTok and who knows what they're going to find. And who knows if it's right for them.
Right.
And I love the commercials you see, Oil of Olay. I was an Oil of Olay user, Neutrogena. I do love those commercials because they're educating patients. The hyaluronic acid, now they're talking about retinol. It's educating patients. So why Alastin retinol? Like why medical grade Alastin retinol versus like over the counter?
Great question. And that comes up a lot because some people think, well, let's be honest, these are pricey. But so are the treatments. And what makes this different is truly how everything is formulated. Whether we're bringing a new product to market or if we're looking at evaluating products with procedures that might be evolving within the medical space, is the first thing we look at is that gene expression, meaning is an ingredient going to give a true effect on a gene. So for example, you mentioned Illuminate, that you love Illuminate. I do too. It's a must-have. It's a lifestyle product at AM and PM.
That's a good way to put it.
With Illuminate, some of the ingredients in there, like the hexapeptide or lactoferrin, lactoferrin is going in there and targeting the excess iron in the skin and pulling that out. So once we go through looking at how these ingredients function to that gene itself, then we go into final formulation where we're looking at punch biopsies. And what is so special about Alastin and where we sit differently from other brands out there is that when we're doing the punch biopsy studies, we're actually using discarded facelift skin.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Very unique.
Wow.
So in California, Dr. Alan Woodrow has some plastic surgeons in the area that will give discarded tissue from facelifts. And we are using that. And why I'm kind of spending a moment on that is that skin has photo damage.
Right.
And if we think about the age of someone getting a facelift, if we think about, what might be happening to the skin, laxity, texture, so that when we're testing final formulation, we're getting to see true results.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Most other brands might be using skin from a Molly Makeover, Tummy Tuck, that does not have the photo damage. That doesn't have that type of, things that have happened to it, like the way the face would from facelift skin.
From natural.
When you think about that, we have that model. So all of our ex vivo studies are done on that to really see, okay, how is this looking in final formulation? And then we take it into the case studies and look, for example, when we did the Illuminate study, we were comparing it to what the industry really deems as the gold standard, being hydroquinone 4%. So they want to know if this is our final formulation, how does it compare to what everyone else thinks is the best? So I think it makes
and I will say, I really don't use much hydroquinone unless I have to. Mm-hmm. My go-to is vitamin C, the Alastin, and the Illuminate serum.
Perfect,
last week I think I had 10 patients that bought those two combos.
It's a great combo.
When they formulate some of these things, going back to what you talking about the testing and all that, like you guys probably, if I'm thinking about it, like you test these things or having to test these things for like 2 years prior to them even coming out. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, hey, it's like 30 days and 90 days and now we've made a product.
Studies the FDA requirements.
Yeah.
And with Alastin being owned by Galderma, there are different tests and rigor that we have to go through. But to that point of the product that's the newest, yes, they've been working on that for 2 years. There are other things in the work that I can't speak of yet, but I know it's coming.
Right.
That are exciting to see, how are we meeting the market where it's at? How are we staying on the forefront of that?
And another question I get a lot, like I want a clean product. I have a patient I was talking to, she's had allergy testing. She's allergic to everything, but now she's not really. Okay. But the fragrances and stuff. And so we get that all the time. And I'm like, Alastin's really clean. So tell us a little bit about that.
I think the biggest thing to call out is every ingredient that's in each one of these bottles is there for a reason. Mm-hmm. We're not adding a fragrance. We're not adding something to it to give it a different smell. It's there for its purpose because we're getting those true results from, within the skin. And to me, that's what really kind of is that point of difference. We're not adding anything to make it feel, smell, or be different just for fluff.
Right. Well, I can tell you the HydroTint is my favorite. Oh. So I don't have to use it. I gotta talk about that because I used to wear foundation and all those things and powder and everything now and wasn't into the sunscreen. And, they put the sunscreen and the tint in it. And it's like, you can wear that. And that's it. A little bit of makeup. It really does. And it's not greasy. It's not. So like if I could only get one product from Alastin, that is it. That is
our number one seller. And I love that it blends with every skin, ethnicity. Mm-hmm. You can, and we try it on patients because they have to, feel the products.
Of course.
Can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit? Like the tints, like how does it blend with every skin type?
And to that point, I've seen it blend beautifully on everything from a Fits 1 to a Fits 5. And there are different little tricks that we can do in the treatment room. But at home, I think it's one that, to your point, wears well. Most people will say like they've been able to forego their foundation. Maybe they just use a bronzer or a blush, depending on what they have going on. Something I love too about it that is special to me is sometimes sunscreens, when you take photos, you kind of get that white cast.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You don't see it necessarily with the naked eye, but with this, you don't get that. So you get that beautiful radiance and glow. And if you put your Illuminate underneath of it, the radiance, very pretty.
So I tend to mix the moisturizer with it to cut it a little bit, just a little trick. Mm-hmm. And I love that.
More for sure.
Yeah.
One pump is more than enough. And there have been moments where I've accidentally given it a little too much. Dang it.
Yeah, I mean, half a pump goes a long way.
It does.
It does. I have, it's a year and the expiration date and all that is on it.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. No, it does. It does last.
How about retinol? You use your retinol every night?
I do. And I wasn't not to say fond on the whole retinol, but just unsure of it. And then, learning more about it and stuff like that, it's definitely been something that, is in it, and it's made a difference, as we get older. So, I mean, it helps along the way. So
you probably had patients in the treatment room say, you mentioned a retinol. They're like, I peeled and I got red.
Retinol scaries.
Yes. And I say, listen, this will be your favorite product. I always joke my husband was stealing it like out of the drawer. And I'm like, why is it empty? Because he said, like, after 2 months of using, he goes, this is the one product that I've noticed has changed my skin.
If someone does not have a true allergy, and there are, sometimes you say retinol, to your point, you say to someone, they're like, no, I peeled. I have found that we've been able to put people on our retinol, and we have 2 different strengths.
Every night.
Every night.
Instead of every other day.
Without the dryness, the sloughing. It is a great way to help prep the skin too for that additional cellular turnover, for some of the treatments that you're doing. And what's pretty awesome too is vitamin C was mentioned earlier because you bundle the Illuminate with the vitamin C, the C radical. You can use C radical AM and PM, and you can use it with our retinol as well.
Oh, okay.
So you can absolutely put that on. And if someone can use a 0.25 ALASTIN retinol every night, keep doing it. I say rock on with it and keep going.
That's a good point because they're like, what order? And I'm like, it really doesn't matter because the molecule size, right? And you can kind of elaborate on that a little bit.
For sure. So within our serums, serums being Illuminate, C radical, and antioxidant defense, and HA immerse serum, they are designed to penetrate. So if by accident you put one on before the other, they will all penetrate into the skin. I always say kind of school of thumb is reference whatever the patient's primary concern is first. If you've been using retinol without any issues, put your retinol on first. Absolutely.
Yeah, Sophia talks about it a lot when she comes in and does the lunch and learns, because that is, we're always asking, okay, what order, and she's like, it doesn't matter.
That's where you get out the
yeah, exactly. And that's one thing, because I'll mess it up myself, and I'm like, it doesn't matter what order I'm putting it, so.
They're designed to penetrate the peptides.
Which some of them aren't. There are products out there that you have to kind of be this step, this step, this step. So
if you put your HydroTint on first,
well, then that's going to be a problem.
Start over tomorrow. Go back to bed. Just do it over.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
That would be it, right?
Yeah. So funny story. My mother-in-law, she goes back to New York, and she literally comes in the day, and Amber's like, I'm going to have to reorder everything. She literally gets 2 of everything, actually 3 of it. And then her husband, who just haloed again, because he's got precancerous skin cells. I put him on the regimen, and I do the script, and he's like, because it's a half moon, he's like, well, what if there's a full moon? So I'm like, it's very self-explanatory.
That's good, yeah.
But he's 73.
That's amazing.
And so now he's doing these halos. He's like, I love the way Sandy's skin looks. Like, I'm going to start using it. I said, even if you start with 2, we put him on 3 because I put him on retinol. But it's just user,
amazing.
Right? And somebody who would never think of using it with a conversation, they just see, see the value.
Especially guys, we know they don't like to talk about skincare and things like that. So, I mean, if you can get them using a few things, once they start using it,
Yes. I think Restorative Skin Complex is a great way into that because it's multimodal. You're treating aging, you're treating pigmentation, you've got antioxidants in that. And I think you see the biggest impact the quickest.
And it has moisturizer feeling to it. It's hydrating as well.
Absolutely.
That was my go-to before Illuminating came out.
So the new one that has kind of changed up a bit. Compare that to the old formulation and the new formulation.
The OG versus the new.
Yes, yes.
So what our first kind of gift to the market is, we are taking TriHex, and I say we. Like I was part of it.
Hey, you are.
I'm part of delivering the information.
That's right.
But the first thing that they kind of wanted to bring to that was actually adding octapeptide 45 to TriHex. So what you love about HA immerse serum has octapeptide 45 in it. What octapeptide 45 does is it gets directly down into the skin, into the extracellular matrix, and takes that fibroblast. So fibroblasts are our workhorse cell. That's what produces our own internal hyaluronic acid. Octapeptide 45 is a high molecular weight. That's naturally what our body makes. So when it penetrates, it's able to, our body knows, first of all, what to do with it. So you're not having that inflammatory response. But it's getting into the extracellular matrix and telling our fibroblasts to start making more HA. We've taken octapeptide 45 and added it to TriHex.
Oh, wow.
So think about clearing out the extracellular matrix.
That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And now we're getting those fibroblasts to work even more, to really be that workhorse cell to start creating internal HA.
Wow.
I'm going to have to hurry up and use what I have so I can start the new stuff.
I know. Yes. That's my daily go-to.
And then with what is new with Restorative Skin Complex, with the new TriHex Plus technology, we're adding magnolol to that. Magnolol is from the magnolia bark. And what that's helping to do is with volume. So any type of volume loss, and that happens with aging. But we're also seeing that with any of the
weight loss,
peptide weight loss, any type of like Ozempic face is a term now that people know.
Absolutely.
And how do we address that? How do we, treatments obviously are helping, and what you guys are doing here help so much. But then how do we then take a product? Anyone on a peptide weight loss, I'm putting them on Restorative Skin Complex, the new TriHex Plus, also putting them on Transform.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because that has TriHex as well.
Body cream.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. For that laxity. But with the new Restorative Skin Complex, with the next generation TriHex Plus technology, we're able to address aging signs, but also that volume loss. So just really beautiful results.
So even fine lines and wrinkles, you're going to see plumping.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's going to be huge.
We need to get you the visual aids to really use in the treatment room when you start talking about this. And I think you'll be really impressed.
Well, even our 20-year-old, medical estheticians and MAs, they're using it and they've gotten on it. So we appreciate your support with that, because I do believe when they're using it, they talk to patients all the time about it. Like, this is my favorite.
And if you're using something and you believe in it, then it's easy to get people, to understand it.
Absolutely.
And I think sometimes too, patients can be overwhelmed by all of this. Like, what are all these devices, and what's my skin going to look like afterwards? And how is this going to feel? Is the injectable going to hurt? And if you all can share your own personal experience, it kind of softens that for them, I think. And it helps them, understand what the outcome should look like if they use the right products. And if you're using it in the treatment room and using it yourself, I think that story is just a much easier story to tell.
Right. Well, we love our Enhance. That's a post-injection serum. We bundle it in for lips and, multiple syringe FIBB signature services that we do. And so it helps with the inflammation after, the swelling and the bruising. So can you kind of give us a little science behind that one?
And I laugh at that because honestly, on my drive down, I have a friend that's going to get her lips done for the first time. And she's nervous, which that can be the case for some. And she does bruise when she gets injections. So I was able to give her some of that. I'm like, here's how you're going to use it. But what it's able to do is take that bruise and swelling and kind of push it through that autophagy process quicker. So whereas, a bruise typically it turns that really vibrant purple color, this is going to kind of push it to that yellowish color quicker and really push it through much faster.
And the swelling too.
Swelling as well, for sure.
Our patients love it.
Yeah.
And they feel like they're getting an extra value to the service.
It gives it a little gloss too to your lips when you're,
Yeah, because the hydration, right, too, that can...
Remember if we're doing anything around the eyes or Sculptra. I mean,
Sculptra, we do it post. We have... the puppet in every room, and they get their little Sculptra massage.
Nectar is what's, safety tested to use for that 5-5-5 massage for Sculptra. But absolutely, if someone bruises, it's a must-have.
Right.
And it's one of those, I'm probably not going to use it all the time, but I keep it with me all the time. For those kind of one-offs that you have a bruise from walking into a door handle. Or, for example, I have an 11-year-old niece. She got a black eye playing soccer. Someone kind of headbutt her up into the brow bone. Oh, wow. So take this with you to school, reapply it a few times. Now, this is my niece, so I'm allowed.
That's a good tip.
I'm allowed to say, she can put this on. It's, parental discretion. But, she's in 6th grade, and I don't want her feeling walking around with a black eye, like what happened to you. And
it helped healing.
Yeah, absolutely. I said, reapply one little amount 2 or 3 times a day.
Oh, that's a good tip.
So that was
I love that.
Parental discretion. Yeah. But it was aunt discretion.
That's right.
For our boat bruises too.
From getting the knees, elbows. It happens.
Awesome. Yeah. So we do a lot of body treatments here. We have a patient who flies from Arizona. She's got a a skin condition that nobody would treat out there. And so, colleagues of ours, Dr. Bitter was involved, Dr. Jay Burns, I'm texting with them because it's a dermatologic condition. Anyways, long story short, we're doing full body BBLs. We moxie her body. We do body BBL all day for sun damage. We have our Exion, our skin tight, those kind of treatments. We have additional soft wave, ultrasound technology, penetrating, boost of that hyaluronic acid, collagen stimulation. So we love the neck cream and we love the body transform, and our patients love it. Those patients come back and buy it continually.
For sure. Transform has such a special place, and you've got some good resources. You dropped some really powerful names, Dr. Jay Burns. I think what stands out to me is how on top of the education and using other colleagues to see what is best
all the time.
And that's unique. That doesn't happen everywhere. And I'm not saying that because I'm sitting here, that is the truth.
Well, I mean, and everybody, all our providers, we would want us, somebody who's treating us to do their due diligence to make sure it's safe because, I've seen some bad outcomes, as an AMI trainer and then Cyton liaison, KOL, we get cases all the time. And so if I'm not sure, I'm not going to treat it.
And that's somewhere I want to go, and that knowing that you have other options in this building to give what's best for that skin type or that patient's concerns. I went sideways on whatever the question was that you asked me.
Oh, about the body.
The body. I mean, the body is living in Florida. Obviously, there's it's what we live here for a reason, and taking care of ourselves. And there's two different kind of sides of this. I know people that love to use Transform as their daily moisturizer for any areas where there may be laxity. So whether it's tops of the knees, backs of the arms, kind of stomach, abdomen, bum, but then also to pair with any peptide weight loss patient. Yeah. So if you have patients that that are on that, I would 100% have them start using that. Because also too, knowing those body procedures you're doing, Transform Body has TriHex in it. So we're clearing out that damage. We're creating new healthy collagen and elastin. So then that laser that you're doing or any type of treatment that you're doing, you're going to have a better outcome. They're going to have a better outcome. And that skin is healthier.
Right.
And you're able to treat a little bit differently, which in turn, that's what we want for our patients. We want them to have a good experience. And that's probably why people are flying here from Arizona and making the trip. It's because that's your standard of care.
Yeah.
And that to me is special.
And they're seeing a difference, their skin laxity. And, as far as, even 3 weeks out, you mentioned 18 days, the clinical studies had shown, they're seeing a difference within a month. And so we love that.
And I love having them use it to maintain their results.
Right.
Or in between, because chances are you're doing a series of those treatments, and how do you maintain that? And especially too for some types of massages that may need to happen, I'm just showing them how to use it.
So I do have one request.
Oh boy.
We need retinol for the body. There's a lot of retinol products on Amazon coming out. And so I actually have been dabbling in that, using retinol. So ALASTIN, make us a retinol for the body.
ALASTIN, step it up.
Even
if it's not in the works.
I'm telling patients to use retinol. They have precancerous skin cells on their, anywhere sun exposure. So yes. So
and all these products can be used on the neck. Yes. We always forget our neck. You don't just need neck cream. Use it all down there. Yeah.
And again, we treat, if you're doing a BB on your face, you definitely should be, treating your neck if you're 30 or over.
Yes.
Soft wave, microneedling, RF microneedling, the skin laxity, all those treatments to help tighten the skin. The neck is a great pairing for that reason, helps the skin laxity.
And I believe some people forget about that. And unfortunately, some of us, weren't taught when we were younger we were taught to take care of our face, but not necessarily our neck and décolleté. So now we're playing catch up.
Yes.
And how do we get there? And obviously, the restorative neck is lovely. It has TriHex in that. Again, it's clearing out that damage, creating new healthy collagen and elastin. And think about how much we move our neck, the mobility in it. We need something specific for that delicate area to really address those concerns.
Because that skin is thinner too. We talk about
a lot like the skin of the eye.
Yeah.
Why you need a product that's specific with this specific percentage of ingredients and specific ingredients in there to really address those needs for sure.
Yeah, we love it. So anything else to talk about?
No, I mean, if how to choose the right ALASTIN for your skin type, well, schedule a skin consult with FIBB, right?
Yeah. So We thank you, Jen, for coming on.
Yes.
Jen.
Yeah.
That was so we'll get it right.
Jen, Jennifer, what do you want to do?
And we'll do this again at some point.
I'd love to.
Yeah, you got some new stuff in the works, so we're going to have to circle back.
I paused for a moment.
We're going to have to circle back. So if you want some more information, you can reach us at www.faceitbotoxbar.com or call us at 239-322-3815. Make sure to like, follow, and share. Do you fib?
I fib.
I
I
fib.
definitely fib, but I tell my friends though.
You should fib too.